through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Tottenham, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys, and welcome to THFC Do or Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future under the mighty cockerel. Not under Ange, not under Thomas Frank, just the mighty cockerel. And I'm sure Soren Blow has loads of cockerels, and he wants their one to us. I've had enough. I want a cockerel. Anyway, enough about me wanting cockerels. Tonight we're asking the question: is anyone home at Tottenham? Are anyone there? Have they all gone off on the piss? Have they gone off on the jolly boys out into Brighton or to Moorgate or wherever you go? And what does this mean for Tottenham? What does this mean for our transfer window? What does this mean going forward? Joining me tonight, of course, is my usual co-host, James. How are you tonight, boss?
I'm good, my man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm grand. Looking forward to my break. Looking forward to my holiday. And down below, well, look, Soren's feeling a little bit poorly, guys. So show him a little bit of love. He's got a bit of toothache. And yeah, he's not feeling the best, but he's still here. And I give him credit for that. So thank you very much, Soren. I love working with you. It's usually you and me on the Irish Hotspur being the delusional ones, trying to tell everyone 6-0, 7-0. But we're having a serious conversation tonight. It's going to be weird for the pair of us.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk some sense, and I don't know whether I can do that tonight.
No, I don't think I can either.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've had a bit of whiskey, starting to feel a bit frisky, so, you know, I'm still buzzing from the win. Didn't we tell them that we were going to be European champions, and everybody laughed at us, everybody called us delusional, and we did it. We only went and did it, so I'm still buzzing from that.
So am I, and I also told them Brendan Johnson would get the winner, and he did that as well. So I'm still buzzing.
Yeah,
I'm still buzzing from that as well. Look, I want to start on that actually. I will welcome a few people in the chat. Big up to DJs as Michael Carrick got the sack today. He did. And I think Tequila said last night about that as well. Big up to Tequila as well. Big up Tequila. No Domo. No one is home. They have left the kid and the home alone in charge. Oh, Lord God. Big up to Courtesy as well. Have you heard any transfer news regarding Tottenham Hotspur in the summer? There's more chance of us hearing the transfer news than Casper the Ghost appearing behind Soren. Seriously, it really is. Big up Christopher Intro. Do you think it is silent because of the takeover and that's why not much is happening? That could be why there is a carpet ban. I think so. I think something major is going to break in the next few days. And I guarantee it. It will break when I'm in the middle of the air, flying from Dublin to Leeds on Friday. It will break. I guarantee you, I would land in Leeds Bradford Airport. My phone would start pinging. I guarantee it's going. Just on that, very quickly, get you guys' thoughts. James, very quickly, do you think it is something to do with this? I mean, we will get into it, but do you think we talked about it earlier, didn't we?
We did. We were having a chat about it earlier, and Christopher is basically sort of mirrored what I think's going off. I think the takeover is more imminent than probably what we realise, and the reason why targets, our potential targets, are slipping us by is because whenever a takeover is about to be concluded, for a club that is under the takeover, it has a imposed transfer embargo put on them, and this is basically to stop the club, the current owners, overspending, and then the new owners coming in and saying, well, we haven't invested in the club, so we're now going to invest our money into the club. And it gives then people the leg up. So a transfer embargo gets put onto any club. So it could be the reason why we're not hearing much about transfers and we're just hearing rumours. But yeah, I'm of the agreement of Chris. I think, and yourself, Dermo, I think something big's coming our way. And yeah, I just think it's just a matter of trying to be a bit patient, and we're not very much a patient bunch at Tottenham.
No, we're not. Soren, do you think the same?
Do you know, I've tried to stay away from all the rumours. Because I've found over the last few years that, and look, you know that I don't mean this personally, but all the in the knows generally don't know a thing. And you know, I've said it so many times that we get bombarded with, we're signing this player, this is happening, that's happening, this is, and it generally never does. Now, I think we're talking about something totally different here with the takeover and things like that. I mean, we chatted a while ago and you told me a few things, and you know that could be happening now. You have the Amanda Staveley with the non-disclosure. You know, why was that signed? Donna Cullen was supposed to be going last year. She stayed on. Why is she suddenly going now? The other American chap, you know, changing positions and things like that. So something's definitely going on. And we know, obviously, Joe Lewis left it to the daughter and the trust, and the daughter wanted Tottenham to be more about the football than the business. And you know, maybe that's the way, but I just think it's such a shit time to do it. You know,
I know.
We've just won the European Cup or a European Cup, and we should all be on a high. And all of a sudden, all we can talk about is, why aren't we signing this player? Why aren't we signing this? Is Ange staying? Is he going? Are we getting a new manager? Is Thomas Frank coming? Is Glasner coming? Is Levy being forced out? Is Joe Lewis selling? And I just think, you know, it's the worst possible time for all this to be happening. It really is. You know, for me, I think if I was buying the club, I would be saying, this is what I want to happen while we're doing it. And I would be wanting them players being brought in, or at least lined up, because you don't want to start talking now And by the time you actually get any players in, it's a typical Tottenham window where we're signing people on the last day of the season and the last day of the transfer window again. And it just don't make sense to me. It really, if any club was going to do this the worst possible way, it would be Tottenham Hotspur. And we are doing it the worst possible way, you know.
Yeah.
The worst possible might not be the worst possible outcome. I suppose it depends who buys us, but I don't know. I just feel so deflated, and you know, I've tried to start catching up with a few people and seeing what they're thinking, and everybody's telling me something different. So I don't know. I mean, I was watching somebody earlier, and they were slating off Levy for doing this. Well, what's to say it's not? What, you know? Why does it have to be Levy's fault at this time? He might be the one that's battling for his position. He might be the one that's trying to do the right thing for the club. Not saying he is, but you know, there's all sorts. Maybe it's maybe it's Joe Lewis wanting to sell the club or take it in a different direction. Maybe it's Levy's trying to save Angie's job and somebody else wants him. You know, we don't know. So,
and that's the thing, isn't it? We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
Is, let's just, everybody just needs to calm down a little bit and just wait and see. Just wait and see what happens. And all the infighting and the moaning and the whinging from the fans is not going to speed it up. It will happen at its own pace, and it'll happen when it's going to happen. And that's fortunately we cannot do a thing about that.
No, we can't. Big up to Jazz Fusion, said nothing else breaks. I'm going to start an emotional support chat group called Dermot's Hermits. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or an insult, but I've never had a group chat called after me before. But big up, Jazz.
I used to chat to a chap in America who lived on the outskirts of New York, in the wilderness side part of it, and he was what you would call a proper hermit. And you know what? It was funny because his internet or Wi-Fi or whatever he was actually on would only work for like 1 day a week or something. And you know, you would wait, and he would have a couple of hours that day to talk to. So for me, a hermit's a good thing, because that's the sort of thing. If I won a lot of money, I'd go to somewhere like Alaska and live on my own in the quietest and not have to worry about the going on at Tottenham Hotspur.
No, that's true. Big up to Anthony Leach. Greetings from West Cork. Looking forward to the show. Big up, Anthony, over there in the nicest part of Ireland. Big up to Tequila. So sick of talking about Ange. I know you are, but Tequila, you love it. You know you do. I think he has a secret love affair for Ange Postecoglou. Just thinking he may do. He says,
Ange's love child.
Yeah, I think it is. James. It says, I can't wait until it goes, just so then we can talk about something new. Big up Simon Cohen. Big up Dermot. Angel Gomez. Marcel Bandit looks like, I think so too. Go away. Thank you. Tequila says, sure, it might be Frank, sucks, whatever, but at least it's new. The Colin, big up Colin. He says 4 minutes late. That's a 250k fine. Yeah, right. Okay. Michael Count can jog on. Pay me, Tequila says, pay me the money. Yeah, okay. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well, enjoying the usual Spurs drama. Big up to Mr. Wayne Bonner, who also got Greg Sennett as well. This AR song sounds like Heat album track described from a fax machine, but I'm all for it. It's actually Colin who sung that. That's actually Colin singing. Colin wrote it and he sang it as well. So big up to Colin. What's up, Dermot? Big up Shawnee Maddox as well. Hope you doing. How you doing well, Shawnee? He says, Wayne says, don't you just love supporting a club where useless twats in charge who have no clue and no plan? Yeah. We're a bit like, I would say, the council going to do work on the motorway and decided to stick 10 men on the side of the M1 and just stand there and do nothing for the whole weekend. And then come Monday morning, they close down the whole motorway in rush hour. I mean, it's so typical. Big up to Mr. E. I love how much the banger of the intro song is. Again, that's down to Colin. He wrote it and sang it, and there's actually a ballad version of that, which I will put up on the channel. There's another version of that song. There's actually a ballad version. Big up to Johnny. Oi, oi, Legends evening. Legend yourself, Johnny. Big up. It's not. It's AI, Greg's. No, it's not. It's you, Colin. Don't say it's AI. I've just praised it's you. Another boring day at work, so I'll be listening along and hopping in chat. Shawnee, you're always welcome. Got to get you on the channel as well, Shawnee. We've got to get you on the show as well. Be great to have you on. Dermo does enjoy cockerels. Oh, don't starting this again.
That was from earlier.
Yeah. God damn it. Did Dermo just start the stream by saying he wants cock? No, I said cockerels, not cock. Don't start this again. You know I always get messed up. You might have been right the first time. I think I did actually. Don't read it out too late. What's the point, FC evening? Big up to you. What week are you on holiday from? Tomorrow, from Thursday to the 16th of June. I'm back. So
he's leaving the kids in charge. All hell's gonna break loose.
Oh hell. Well, I have a channel to come back to. Honest to God. Big up to What's the Point PC. Middlesbrough, lovely Middlesbrough place, lovely pass and move football. Big up David Clark. Thomas Frank, odds on to be the next Spurs coach. His stats over the last 2 seasons with Brentford: 76 games, 26 wins, 17 draws, 33 defeats, points 120, 12 goal for 114, goal against 111, plus 3 points. He's an upgrade, and he's an upgrade, really. I know.
Yeah,
go on.
I agree. It's like you look at them sort of stats there, Dermo, and that sort of screams volume. How is he an upgrade on Ange? He's not. And again, dilly-dallying. Look, we like Soren said, we don't know exactly what's going off at the board level. But we don't know what's. I think what we could have done with is the clarity of the manager situation being sorted out after the final game of the season. Back him, sack him. One of the two. If you're backing him, then by now we should have been working on transfers unless the takeover is further along than what we've been made to be aware of. If you're sacking him, sack him and look at getting in a high-quality manager. Because, let's be honest, there's been 3 high-quality managers that have been available where we're not having to pay any kind of compensation to the club that they're leaving, and we haven't pulled the trigger on any of them.
No.
And it's like, I mean, we now, I mean, I might be wrong, but it kind of has a whiff of the Nuno appointment. It's a panic signing. Who are we going to get? Oh, Nuno's done all right wherever he was. Let's get him on board. Okay, Wolves want it. Wolves. He did okay at Wolves. He's doing all right at Wolves. Let's get him in because we can't get anybody else.
I agree. So, I agree. I agree with you, man. I'm big up to Ching Mang Spurs. It says this club is a shambles, run like a circus. And I think, look, let's start there. Look, I'll start with you, Soren, then I go to you, James. Soren, look, in my view, right, this should have been all started a long time ago. I give a few days after the Champions League, of the Europa League final. Yeah, fine. Thank you, Ange. You brought us to glory. You've done your job. You got us Champions League football. You got us a cup, but your league performances weren't good. Thank you for your service. There's your €7 million, and thank you very much. Or we've done it just after the parade. But to drag it out like this, it's getting a bit point, and especially this being a transfer window as well, where other clubs have got ahead of us. Man United got players in, Arsenal got players in, Liverpool got players in, Chelsea got players in, and we're left standing with our trousers around our legs, just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah, I honestly think that there probably was some sort of discussion, and I think Ange was under the impression he's staying, and that's why we got that comment about season 3. Unless it was Ange putting pressure on about, but I just wonder if that the initial impression was that if he won the cup, he was staying for another season or he would be given longer. And things were in place. Now, I think most people thought we probably wouldn't win. That's the problem. I think that's what's cocked it all up, the fact that we did win it. Now, you kind of look at it and think, well, if Paratici is coming in, which I don't believe he's actually started yet, has he? So
1st of July.
1st of July.
1st of July.
Is it a Paratici thing that he doesn't want Ange? And you know, that's why there's such a push. Now, if that's the case and we're waiting for Paratici to start, well, there's no wonder we haven't signed anybody straight away. I mean, look, let's not beat about. We've signed Danzo, so we have actually signed somebody, even though it was already pre-done. We've got, is it Vuskovic coming in?
Vuskovic. Yeah,
coming in. We've got the Korean lad to come back. So
Yang.
We're probably going to be trying to deal a deal for Tell. So you know, all of a sudden you've got kind of 3 new players almost there, or 4 coming in. So it's not as doom and gloom. And what's to say that other players aren't already lined up that might be free transfers, but can't really announce it until they've left the clubs? You know, there's a lot of things that we don't really know. And this is why, again, I go back to when we get linked to all these players, every single 99.9% of them we never sign. And the ones we do sign, we never knew they were even coming. So you know, I look, I'm not going to say that the club has done anything right recently. I mean, you could argue signing Ange was right because he's won us a cup. He's the most successful manager we've had in the cup run for 41 years. You know, he's the most unsuccessful manager we've had in the league for however many years. But how many? I mean, I know everybody keeps going on about the stats of how many we've lost this season, but I tell you what, when we won that game the other Wednesday night, I didn't give a shit how many games we'd lost this season.
I didn't. James didn't. None of us did.
Yeah,
none of us did.
Now. My focus now is on next season. And look, if it is Thomas Frank, it's my feelings are the same as when we announced Ange. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed by it. I think we could have done better, but same as I've done with Ange for the last 2 years, I will back whoever comes in if that's the case. But I personally think Ange should be given a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, James, look, we keep this. Look, we broke it Sunday, and I think we both stand by what we broke. We both will stand by it, stand over it. I'll live and
die by what we announced on Sunday, and anybody who disagrees with me, like I said on Sunday, can take a long walk off a short pier. So if you don't agree, you don't agree. Don't need to start saying stupid things, saying that we've spread fake news. So that's all I'm going to say on that matter.
Yeah. On the point of Levy and the board and Soren's point of we've won the Europa League the first time in 41 years. Keith Birkinshaw's last one and then left the club. Is there any similarities from 84 to now? Because it just seems to be the same thing. It seems to be a board in disarray with Scholar at the time. And it seems like history repeating itself.
Well, let's hope not, because I don't want to wait another 40 odd years before we win another European trophy.
To be honest, James, we've only got to wait 2 months because we'll be winning Super Cup.
Super Cup.
The
point I was making was the board then was in disarray with Ivan Scholar, because I think at that time when he bought the club, he played the previous owners off each other to get the shares because of the West Stand. And again, we win a major European trophy and our board's in disarray. I mean, what do you think is happening? We're hearing rumors that Levy's left, he's stepping down. Joe Lewis's daughter's trying to take the control off him. We heard he's trying to bring in the Qataris or the Saudi Arabians. Is there a massive power struggle at Tottenham at the moment? And it's paralyzed everything else.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. We're paralyzed as a football club, which delays every other announcement we want to make.
I think with regards to, I mean, we can speculate. We can speculate. We're not in the boardroom. We don't know anybody in the boardroom. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that boardroom daily, because I'm probably a firm believer that there's daily meetings going off. But from what we were led to believe was that when Vinay came in, and he's officially started, by the way, now.
Yeah.
He has officially started as the new CEO. When Vinay came in, Levy was going to be taking a step back anyway. But is this then now also another bit of the power struggle of Levy doesn't know how to release his grip on the reins? Yeah. So Vinay is trying to come in and say, right, this is what we want to do. And Levy's like, no, we're not doing that. And he's like, no, you brought me in to run the football club. You were going to be doing the business side, Daniel, blah, blah, blah. And it's then them two having a bit of a struggle and butting heads, and a cockerel measuring contest of who's got the biggest cockerel picture. So it could be that
in my head now. Thanks for putting that image in my head now.
You know I'm good at these visuals. Look, I think it's just like someone said. We don't know when the news is going to break. No. Sky Sports have all of a sudden decided that they're going to jump on the bandwagon and say that a decision's going to be made within. Is imminent, I think, is the word that they used. Well, with the information we got told on Sunday, the decision was imminent. So, excuse me, sorry. So I wouldn't have expected it to drag on till Wednesday. Yeah. And here we are Wednesday evening and we've still got no news. It is becoming a little bit mundane of constantly talking about, is Ange going? Is he staying? What's happening with the board? What's happening with the players? And I agree with you, Soren. I must get 20, 30 messages a day. Are we signing this player? We're linked to this player. We're linked. If we signed every single player that we were ever linked to over the last 5 years, we'd have enough players for 5 teams.
Yeah, we would.
So it baffles me of like, how are we linked to all these players? But I think a lot of it is as well is agents trying to drum up business. They're trying to market their own players. At the end of the day, Tottenham are interested in it. Tottenham are interested in him. We might not have zero interest in him, but if an agent's gone to a club and said, Tottenham are interested in him and they're offering this, the other club's going to go, well, we want him more than Tottenham want him, so we're going to give you a little bit more money and we'll want you to, if you sign now, we'll give you an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand per week, and we'll give you a bigger signing on bonus. And so what does the club want? Okay, the club wants this. There you go. And it drums up business. So it doesn't surprise me that we're linked to everybody.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make was, with the silence from the club itself, does that open the club up then to a vacuum of everyone just spouting everything and anything? You see X. There's how many rumors am I seeing an X? I can count on 2 hands, feet, every part of my body that I've seen everything from Levy's gone, and it's the power vacuum that leaves. So shouldn't somebody be in that club, even in the PA department, saying, just put out a statement, okay, just say for an example, right, and we're back in our story, Ange Postecoglou has left the club by mutual consent. More news in due course.
Yeah.
At least we know then what's happening. I mean, this definite sound of nothing.
Yeah.
Absolute nothing.
But
What
the thing
does that
is,
say?
Dermot, I mean, Tottenham is run as a business that if anything happens, it has to be announced. So you
Yeah.
kind of look at it and say, well, maybe nothing's actually happening. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
maybe
just all
so.
rumours. Now, I think the most logical thing is not. I don't see Joe Lewis's daughter trying to take control of Tottenham because she could have done it at any time over the last 2 years. So she's been in charge basically for 2 years with the trust. So if she was going to do it, why not already do it? I would have said it's more likely that she's wanting to sell the family stake and Levy's staying on, and that's what's been sorted now. That if it's the Qataris or whoever are coming in and they're buying is it 80%, 70% of ENIC shares?
It's 82%. That what we broke about a month ago, 2 months ago, that the Qataris buy ENIC shares and Levy will stay on as a consultant on a rolling contract. That's what we broke. So
And
maybe this is what's happening. But surely with Anne, surely that should be put to bed one way or the other. Surely on that side of it.
It depends. I mean, what's to say that if the Qataris are buying it, that they want Ange to stay, and it's it's Lewis's daughter that doesn't want him to stay, and if she's going, why sack him? Or maybe it's the other way around. If she's staying and she wants him to stay, you don't sack him if the other people don't want him and they haven't bought the club. I mean, there's a lot of ifs and buts in this scenario now.
Yeah, there is.
I think the argument would be if he was getting sacked, and look, I think the scenario is that he will be gone. I don't think, but let's just go down, and play devil's advocate a little bit. If he was getting sacked, I think we all agree the probability would have been he'd gone by now, because we don't need a manager in place if we know who's coming. If the agreements are already there with, say, Thomas Frank, then he'll already be talking to us some way or other, whether it's through agents, whether it's what players he wants to come in. So you don't have to wait for him to be signed if you know for definite you're getting rid of Ange. And to me, the silence of us not already having got rid of Ange tells me it's not as black and white as people think. It would not surprise me in the least if we start next season with Ange in charge. And on the same note, it would not surprise me if we don't. So, I just think there is more going on than just the sacking of Ange Postecoglou or the keeping of him. Because, like I said earlier, I honestly think in his mind, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll leave that bit of the show there. I'm sure if anything breaks over the next 48 hours, 24 hours, 40 hours, 70 hours, I know this channel will be above it. I know James will be on about it. I know Colin or Steve, they'll be all on over it, guys. So we will keep you updated. Look, I got a little bit of news coming about Sonny. And look, there's a load again, another rumors about Sonny as well. Him being sold, deals done, all this baloney. But the latest I got is on Sonny is a target for Saudi Arabian clubs, and Tottenham could decide to cash in on the 32-year-old as they look to generate transfer funds. But Tottenham Hotspur will only listen to significant offers for captain Sonny this summer. Look, guys, Sonny's a legend, absolute legend of the football club, absolute captain, won his first major trophy with us, stayed with us, did more than what Harry Kane did. And no, look, I'm not begrudging Harry Kane leaving, going to Germany, but I think Son took the harder option. and that was to stay with us. Do you think it's time Sonny to move on, James and Soren? Do you think he could still do a job for us next season?
Yeah, I think he could still do a job at 32. There's no reason to think that. Look, he's had a bad season. He's 32 years old. He's starting to hit the twilight of his career. Yeah, for sure. But no, he's still got plenty in tank. And when you've got a fully fit Sonny, he's absolutely first class.
Sorry, go on. Sorry,
it's all right. The comments are going mad already. Why would you keep him? I would keep him purely because he was our captain that led us to European glory. And I think that he has the ability to help the younger players and be a top quality mentor to them. The likes of your Mikey Moores and your Yang. Certainly Yang, more than anything, another young South Korean. He's got Sonny there, help him bring him on. Sort of, this is what this club's all about. This is what you can do. And I think it would be silly to sell him. But if some Saudi Arabian club's going to chuck 50, 60 million at it, I can equally see the board or whoever snapping the hand off and saying, yeah, thanks very much for your service, Sonny. See you later.
Do you feel Sonny be good as a sub player next year? Not as a main starter, but as a squad player. Bring him on off the bench with 30 minutes to go, Soren. I've got another question for you, James. That's why I'm going, Soren. So.
Look, I'm of the impression that I don't care what we do with Sonny, he does not go anywhere. I don't care whether we make him the T-boy, lady boy, whatever he wants to be at the club. We just give him whatever he wants, because I just think this is probably going to be controversial, and I'll get slated for this. I know I will. But when we had Son and Kane, I always said, when all the rumours were coming about Kane leaving, it would be a bigger loss to lose Sonny than it would Kane. And it maybe hasn't proven that way, because Sonny hasn't, you could see that them two were just perfect for each other. But I don't know. I just think Sonny's one of those players that I'd be devastated to see him go. And I don't care if he doesn't play another game for us, as long as he's still part of our club. To me, he's our next Ledley King, that we give him what he wants. If he doesn't want to come on as a sub, then we just make him an ambassador, or we loan him out. We do whatever we've got to do to keep him involved with our club. And I just hope when he does retire, he retires at our club and he becomes that ambassador, whether it's in South Korea, whether it's in England. I don't care where it is. I just don't want to see a Tottenham Hotspur without Sonny. And look, he hasn't been good enough. Whether that's through injuries, whether that's through how he's been played, I don't know. But look, I'm Sonny.
Do you think it could be the inconsistency of the management as well, though, Soren, that's caused some form to dip?
Yeah, I mean,
managers asking him to do different things.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's not forget that beginning of last season and this season, he was playing with injuries, and he was playing for a long time with injuries, and that will have affected him. But everybody keeps saying about, he's lost his pace and things like that. Well, when he came on against, was it Frankfurt he came on against, or was it Premiers? He came on against somebody for like a 20-minute cameo, half an hour, whatever, and he was running down that flank. He hadn't lost his pace. I mean, he wasn't as, he's not as fast as he was. He's older, but he's still got his pace. He can still run away from players. So yes, if he is happy to be an impact sub, perfect, because I see him playing in Champions League for us. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit easier for him. Play him in the Champions League. play him in the cups. I don't care what we do. We keep him. And look, he's not going to go to Saudi Arabia. He's already said last season and season before when there were rumours, he's not going there. He doesn't want to go there. So he's not like a lot of players where he's chasing the money. He wants to play where he's felt loved and is wanted, and he loves the club. And I'll tell you what, there won't be a better club for him than Tottenham Hotspur. There won't. He loves the club. He is Tottenham through. The only thing that it's a shame we can't sing about Sonny is that he's one of our own, because really he is one of our own.
Look, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. The chat split on it. The chat has split on it. They're saying sentiment. Look, we've got this one here. Oh my God, it's all sentiment. Look, I agree with you guys.
Sorry.
I am agreeing with you guys, but I am going to play devil's advocate here. Did Tottenham make Sonny sign a new contract if they did sell him to get money?
Well, it was only an extension, wasn't it? It was only an extension. We had the extension in his contract. So we triggered the extension. I think we could have triggered it just to get some cash. But I also think they triggered it because they also understand what Son means to the fan base as well,
and what he brings to the club as well.
Yeah,
with all the fans he brings from South Korea as well. On that side of it, then if Sonny did go, he does deserve he deserves one hell of a send off, doesn't he? Harry Kane went out the back door.
Yeah,
we didn't give Harry Kane the send off he deserved. So Sonny does deserve. Do you think this is the last year of Sonny's career at Tottenham if he does stay?
Yeah. I think it will be as a player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been with the club for 10 years. He was a 22-year-old young man when he came to us. He's 32. He's lived a lifetime at Spurs as a football player. You tell me nowadays how many players stick around at a club for 10 years? Because there's not many. And the players that do stick around are usually at clubs that are winning something season after season after season after season. Before he signed his most recent deal, I think it might have been last summer or the summer before, when he was like 29, 30, and Saudi came in and they offered like stupid money on wages for him. I think it was something in the region of round about 60 million a year. And Sonny came out and said, I do not play football for the money. I play football because I love to play football. Look, I'm going to, in fact, actually, what I'm going to do is.
I think that, there, he should have a testimonial. Look,
he should have a testimonial.
I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The thing I could see happening if it's going to play out the way that he will stay for one more season, which is when his contract runs, and they'll let him go on a free. I don't think the club will force him out. I don't think he'll want to leave. Look, the only thing that I think will be the hardest thing is how do you take the captaincy off him now? He's the most successful captain of our team for 41 years. So you're going to strip him of the captaincy. You're going to put him on the bench. I don't know. I just think there aren't enough players like Sonny. There just aren't enough players out there like Sonny where it's the passion for the look. As fans, we all say these players don't play for this club. They don't love the club. They don't feel the same as for the club as we do. Sonny does.
Yeah, he does.
Sonny bleeds Tottenham. Sonny bleeds Lily White. And we go on about we all kind of didn't mind Harry Kane going because he'd given the club more years than he should have done, and he stuck to the club. We should have built teams round them two players. We had the best two strikers in the world basically playing for Tottenham, and we didn't do enough for them. One of them decided to go off to guarantee winning trophies. One of them decided he would do everything he could to win a trophy with the club he loved. And do you know what? The best thing that came out of winning that cup was Sonny lifting it. Was the passion Sonny had for winning that cup. You know, the way, and you know, a couple of people have said in the chat about his dad. Did the scenes when he was hugging his mum and dad, and you know, look, I get emotional when I talk about Tottenham, and I just think Sonny is top. I don't think there's another player at the moment for the last however many years that I would say is Mr. Tottenham more than Sonny.
Yeah, he is. He is. And look, look, I'm just going to say this now. You can disagree wholeheartedly, but be respectful doing it. I'm not going to have.
I've turned my comments off, Dermo, because I'm about to lose my proverbial.
Yeah, we come on here to do this, not just because we take time out of our own day to come and do shows. We don't expect to see some of the stuff that people have put in the chat has been absolutely disgusting. So if you want to go, if you think we're that sort of channel, then you can jog off and watch another channel. On here, we show respect to people. If you don't agree with somebody, fine, but do it in a respectful way. And that person has now been banned. So, and that's with it. We banned that person. I should have said it a while ago, but that person has been wholly been banned, and he's gone. We don't accelerate them people in the chat. I'm telling you that now. Thank you for Tequila, and he has been banned, so you can turn your comments back on now, James. You don't have to switch them off, man.
It just boils my piss. Do you know what I mean? I don't come on here to be spoken to like that. No. And I try to be as honest and fair as I can be.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's disrespectful.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. Look, let's go over the contracts. These are the players' contracts. Ben Davies' contract ends in 2025. Just a yes or no for you guys. Does he stay? Yay or nay, James?
No, he'll go.
Sorry.
Yes, but not as a player. I think he should be given a coaching role. Now, if he wants to carry on his playing career, thank you very much, Ben Davies. I personally think you've been fantastic for the club. I think he's an underrated player. But I think it is time for him to probably step down as a player for us. And whether if he wants to go on and carry playing, thank you very much, Ben. If you don't, please give him a coaching role.
Okay, so we've got Tequila. We've got Sean. I would not mind Davis around the club as a coach. Tequila says, please, no. Jazz Fusion's going, nah. Tequila says, are we rarely considering keeping Davis? We've got Greg saying Davis goes to Wrexham, comes back here to do badges. Ching Wang says, Spurs says, oh my God, no. David goes, this is the best one. Give Daddy Ben a testimonial. That is the best one at the lot.
He's been here 10 years, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, nearly 10 years now.
Yeah.
Right. So, we talked about Sonny. We know Bentancur is looking to extend his contract, and Basuma. I think we could all agree Basuma needs to go. I think we all agree in that, the three of us here, hand on heart, it needs to go.
You know what? Do you know what?
God, you're going to go against me. I know this now. I know when he says that, you know what? I know what he's going to say now.
You know my opinion of Basuma from talking with the Irish lads. And I think under Ange, he has to go.
Yeah.
But if Thomas Frank came in, I think Basuma is a Frank type player. And that's the only, I think it depends what manager comes in. I think his form has been absolutely diabolical. His attitude has been crap at times. But I'll tell you what, he stepped up in that semi-final and final. he stepped up big time for us. So whether that, if that's the Bissouma we got, then keep him. If we're going to keep the Bissouma that we've had in the Premier League, and then no, he goes. So I think it really is depending who comes in with Bissouma.
James, where are you? Are you with me on this with Bissouma? He's had his chance. I think he has to go. Personally, he has to go. I think you had the balloon incident. I think that was the final straw for me. And after that, then he needs to go.
It's too inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's Bissouma's problem. It's too inconsistent. If we'd have got the Bissouma that we thought we were getting when we signed him from Brighton, he was supposed to be our rock. He was supposed to be the man who was going to shore up our midfield and basically boss for midfield. And if he did like what he did at Brighton, I was like, yes, this is a good signing. This is going to really take our midfield to the next level. And he turns up in some games, and then he'll turn up 2 or 3 games, the semi-finals, the final of the Europa League. But then you look at him against Crystal Palace, and then you look at him against Brighton, the last game of the season, and it's chalk and cheese. So for me, I would cut my losses on Bissouma. I can understand why people would want to keep him. I completely understand your point of view, Soren, and why you would want to keep him, and maybe the Thomas Frank management would maybe change him a little bit or make him a different type of player. But I don't know. I think he's had too many chances and cocked them up.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the midfield, right? We've got. I just saying the midfield again. We've started another transfer blow in the pursuit of midfield Johnny Casado, who snubbed us. Who do you think we can buy to come in to replace Bissouma? Which midfielder do you think we can go out and say, right, he fulfills his role at the club? I mean, there's the Inter Milan player we're looking at. What's his name? Is it Brad?
Hang on, I've got his name here, Dermot. Hang on 1 second, mate. I'll tell you his name.
He played on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'd chuck in. Is it Paul? What was he? Oh, bloody hell!
Jan Bissek. That's who it is who plays.
I'd chuck in the lad who was at Fulham. Didn't he go to Bayern? Is it Paulinho or whatever they called him?
Yeah, Paulinho. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not getting a look in at Bayern. I'd bring him in. I think he'd be a monster number 6 for us.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see it.
He's not playing at Bayern. He's not happy at Bayern. Well, bring him back to the Premiership. He's proved he can do it here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yes.
Yeah,
go on.
Chamu says it brilliant here. So we sold Batiste for Lo Celso. So we sold Real Batiste, Lo Celso for 5 million, and the guy we had first dibs on rejects us. Classic Tottenham right there. No, I don't think it's classic Tottenham. I just think that's just classic transfer skull fuckery.
But isn't Lo Celso one of those players that everybody was saying just rip his contract up, and now all of a sudden everybody's moaning because we haven't got no money for him? You know, look, this is the problem with a lot of the players that we get linked with, and talking about the Ezes and Buenos and people like that. They've got to want to come to Tottenham for us to sign them. And what people don't understand is a lot of these players don't want to come and play for Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? It might be different this season. Now we've won a cup for a change and we're not such a laughingstock, but we're trying to do everything to make us still be a laughingstock. But, we get linked to all these top players, and most of them are probably laughed them at, I'm not going there. They're not title contenders. They're not winning cups regular. Why should I want to go and play there? I want to go to teams that are winning cups regular. Well, we've suddenly got a manager that's won us a cup, and everybody wants him gone. So, you know, why should what if this is the way we treat our managers? Why should any player want to come and play for us?
Probably true. I mean, so go on, James. Go on, man.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of people. I have put my comments back on and my chat back on. So, a lot of people chatting about the Lo Celso deal. So, and Chamu says we get 0% of the transfer fee because there is stipulation that if we'd had agreed personal terms with Johnny Cardoso, and then he was sold to another club, we would get a percentage of what was sold. But because we never agreed personal terms, we get diddly squat, basically. Yeah. We get diddly squat. So no, we won't get any. So you are right, Chamu. We get nothing. We will get absolutely nothing from it. It is not in a non-enforceable clause because we didn't agree our terms. But I just saw it and I just wanted to clarify it for the people in the comments.
No, that's good. Now we come to these two, Richie and QT. Look, you can make Mikey Moore, Alfie Devine, Dean Scarlett, Josh Keeley, George Abbott. They're not going anywhere. They'll probably go out on loan, or they'll be in and around the first team. Josh Keeley, I really want to see in the first team. He's an Irish goalkeeper, young goalkeeper. And he really is a good goalkeeper as well. Dean Scarlett, I think, needs more first team appearances. Alfie Devine, Mikey Moore, I think they're going to be in the first team next season, in without the first team squad. QT Romero. Now, we know there's a lot of speculation around him, Atletico, Real Madrid. He did say one day he would like to go and play in La Liga. I think what he said was taken out of context. And you actually said it to me last night, James, didn't you, what he said?
I did, yeah.
And it was the full thing. So what do we do with QT? Do we try to tie him down to... Yeah, but if he doesn't want to stay, where do you... It's no point keeping the player here if he doesn't want to be here. Or does that depend on the manager who comes in? Say Ange leaves and we get Xavi. Does that keep QT Romero at the club?
Yeah, because he'll be like we said. It would pique his interest of what's going to happen with the club. I'll be honest with you, Josh Keeley. I completely understand what you mean about Josh Keeley. By the way, Dermo. Mikey Moore, Dane Scarlett, Josh Keeley. I will tell you where they will be playing their football next season.
Okay. Are we getting a bit of an exclusive here?
Yeah, this is an exclusive bit of James information. Where those three players will be playing their football next season will be at West Bromwich Albion.
Do you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense for Ryan Mason there. Actually does.
Yeah. I don't think Mikey Moore will go because I think they'll want to keep him at the club, and I think they'll want to get him into more first team games to show how important he is to the club, because there is such a massive amount of talent there, and they're going to want him to know how important he is. So he will keep. We can maybe get in time down to a new contract. But Dane Scarlett, Alfie Devine, Josh Keeley, they will probably all be playing their trade at West Brom next season. Ryan Mason's worked with all three of them from very young. Yeah. So I can't see them going anywhere else at all.
What's then, Siren? What about Richie? Where do we do with him? I think there's rumors there's money coming in from Saudi for Richie. there was a link going across the bottom. I've got all the news guys, latest news and rumours are going across the bottom there. About Everton, but Ben Jacobs has squashed them rumours about him going back to Everton in the part exchange for a breath rate. Where do you think Richie's going? And then James, I'll go to you with QT Romero.
Yeah.
Again, I think it depends on the manager. Look, I like Richie. I think he's a decent player, only when he's fit and in the right state. I mean, he's shown that when, you know, in small glimpses that he can do the job. The problem is it's small glimpses. So he's such a frustrating player because we all say the best player are the ones that are available, and he's never available. But it'd just be our luck for him to go to another club and he'd suddenly find his fitness and you know, have a good run. I think with Richie, it's he goes as long as we sign somebody to replace him, because we all know the club probably would sell him and then not replace him for a season or two. So as long as we get somebody decent in, then he goes. If it's a case of we haven't got enough money to buy a replacement for him and a left back, say, and another centre back and another midfielder, then to me, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to keep him. But Kuti, look, Pete, he's got his haters, and I can kind of see that, but you don't break that back four up for me.
No,
he stays as long as he's willing to play for this club. If he doesn't want to stay, then get rid, because we don't want a player that doesn't want to stay. But if he's happy to stay, you give him whatever contract he wants, because I think him. Well, again, if we're talking about Thomas Frank, he'll suit Frank's system, and to be honest with you, I think he'll suit Frank's system more than Van der Ven will. So, you know, he's won. You know, he's a winner, and he doesn't want to be at a team that doesn't win. So you keep him. If out of those two, if we could only keep one, then it's Kuti all day long, all day long.
I agree with that. I mean, James, look, we all agree probably Richie probably will be sold. He is too injury prone, but QT, what can convince QT to stay? I mean, look, there's nothing now. He hasn't come out and says, I want to leave the club. He hasn't said that.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
All we know, it could be enjoying sorry, go on.
It could be smoke and mirrors, and again, it could be mainstream media, like you said, taking a comment that he made and like, okay, let's run with it. He wants to go. He wants to leave Spurs. He wants to leave, because I've got a good memory when it comes to how the media sort of report things. So before the semi-final of the Europa League, I think it might have been in between the quarter-final first leg, Frankfurt, and the second leg. Atletico Madrid had agreed personal terms with Romero. Then after the quarter-final, and we won, there were, he's agreed terms, and then in between the semi-finals. So then there was the first leg of the semi-final, and then which we won, and then in between for that week, all it was Romero's phone will be lighting up with phone calls from Diego Simeone. Now, I said it on a show. I know I did, but if you've agreed terms with somebody, why is his phone lighting up from phone calls from Diego Simeone? Because you've already done the hard work. You've got the contract agreed with Romero. Now you've just got to negotiate with Tottenham. You don't need to contact the player. Then the kind of money that Atletico Madrid are touting for what I believe, and I'm going to stress that it's what I believe, He's probably one of the best centre-backs in the world right now.
Yes.
Why are you going to sell him? He's got 2 years left on his contract. Why are you selling him for pittance of 40, 45 million? No club in their right mind is selling one of the best centre-back. That'd be like Liverpool selling prime Van Dijk for 30 million when they bought him for 100. It makes zero sense. Selling Romero for 40 to 45 million makes zero sense. Chinwag, I would say 80 and not a penny less.
Yeah, I think 82. But look, I don't want him to go anywhere. I want Cutie to stay here. I don't want him to go. I mean, if you sell Cutie, make sure my mic's on there, Tia. If you sell Cutie, right, it's like selling Harry Kane. We didn't replace Harry Kane. And look where that landed us. We go and get Solanke, who doesn't get enough goals. Harry Kane was what got us top 4 all them years. His goals, he was guaranteed. Don't know how many points you would be guaranteed with Harry Kane in the side. But I think a fit Romero, a decent Romero playing at a high standard week in, week out, I think he gives you them points to get top 4. And I think you cannot sell him. You keep him at all costs. You absolutely keep him at all costs. So their contracts run out in 2027. Now, 2028, you've got the likes of James Madison, QT. James Madison,
Decky,
Kulu, Porro. You've got Vicario, and you've got Jed Spence. You've got Mana Solomon, who I think will be going back to Leeds. Ashley Phillips and Damiola Ijai, who I think will be going out on loan. Just very quickly, guys, just one word answers on this. Would you, if you could pick one player to sell out of all of them, if you had to, who would it be?
Ashley Phillips.
Yeah.
Solomon, because we know he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with Ash Phillips is we haven't seen him play for us, really. So
No.
we don't know what he can do.
Wasn't it? Where was he on loan last season? And was it last season he played on the FA Cup on the telly, didn't he?
Yeah, and he played quite well, didn't he?
He did.
Was it Plymouth?
It was Plymouth. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
because they took him. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, didn't he play for? Is it the under-21s or a sub for England? And he was always playing quite well. But again, the problem with all this speculation is, and who we're going to keep and who we're going to sell. It's all dependent on what manager we've got. That's the problem. I mean, for me, Madison stays. Kulusevski stays. Porro's the one I'm not as sure about, because I think he's certainly improved over the last part of the season, but he's had some really poor games. Vicario, well, again, he's made some mistakes, but I think he's a damn good keeper. Jed Spence has been pretty poor again this last month or so. His attitude, whether it's his attitude, and I kind of get why, because he's played bloody well, and then we haven't played him in the European games, so his attitude's maybe come out a bit. But again, if it is his attitude, that's not the sort of player we want. I mean, he's been fantastic in some games this season, but when you kind of want him to step up a little bit, these last few games he's been poor. So as much as this, don't think it's so much his playing ability. I think it's more his mental ability. I think he's got this belief. Whether he believes he's better than he is, or whether he believes he's got a goddamn right to play, I don't know. But he's shown this season he can step up and he can be absolutely fantastic, because some of the parts of this season he's been the first name on the team sheet, and then other parts you think yeah, you've had a really bad game this time. But again, he's not that old. So, but yeah, I think out of all them, the one you sell is Manor Solomon, because he's not really part of the team. Probably ask Phillips as well and get somebody else in that might step up.
For James, I don't know where you are with Decky. Do you want to go through them? I've got something on Porro. I want to put out there, but I'll let you go through your
yeah. So I would keep Madison maybe for another year, and then probably look to sell it, move him on to a Saudi club. Decky, I think, is probably going to be sticking around for the foreseeable. Pedro Porro, I like Porro. I think you've got to think about Pedro Porro this season. He played damn near every game without a break. When we were going through our heightened injury crisis, he was the one man that was there game after game after game after game. And of course, he was going to have bad spells or bad games. But man bloody was practically burnt out. Now, with Vicario, I know there's sections of our fan base that like Vicario.
James, before we start, Colin, who's part of the goalkeeper parade, please don't take this. We just look away now. Just go and can you think what Colin could be doing for the next 5 minutes, James?
Put some music on.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me about to just destroy Vicario. I would like to see Vicario sold. I'm gonna go out and say it. I would like to see him sold. I would like to see Kinski be given the number one, and Brandon Austin being given the understudy for next year, and then when Josh Keeley comes back, Josh Keeley takes the number 2 goalkeeper and Kinski the number 1. I just think Vicario has, don't get me wrong, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper, but he's a good goalkeeper that's a bit too yeah, and a bit pronounced to a mistake that could cost us points. So look, Vicario has cost us points this season, and I think when we signed Kinski, I think he did phenomenally well, and then when Vic came back, it was it was like I've walked straight back into the team, and I don't think Kinski was given enough credit.
Right.
And I think he did phenomenally well for what he coming to a new country, a new club, and literally been thrown in at the deep end with 2 lead weights around his ankles because he had a makeshift back line in front of him.
Yeah.
So I think I would really like to see Kinski given an opportunity with Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, Porro consistently in front of him, and I pretty much guarantee our defence and goals conceded next season would be a lot less. But that's my opinion.
Just to throw in a slight argument to that, Jane, would you change your opinion if we've got a different manager in that doesn't rely on the goalkeeper having to be that sweeper keeper and play a lot with his feet? Because that's Vicario's weakness, is his kicking. And if you take that away from him and bring that back line further back, that defensive line further back, it doesn't rely on him having to play with his feet as much, which then plays to his strengths of being that shot stopper stroke, goalie that saves. I mean, I agree with most of what you said on the reasons. I just think, again, it all boils down to who's going to be the manager next season.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I agree. It does come down to who's going to be the manager next season. No, it wouldn't change my mind. I'm just no. I'm just done with him. I've sort of watched him the last couple of years, and I'm just sort of like, he's so frustrating to watch as a goalkeeper. He makes erratic decisions at crossers, punches at the wrong time. And that's not being I'm not taking anything away from him. His shot stopping ability is brilliant. He is a brilliant shot stopper. But I just think we could do better.
Right. I know I'm conscious of the time, Soren. If you need to pop off, you can.
I'm all right till about 1:30, and then I'll have to go.
Yeah, okay. We won't be on too much longer anyway. See, with me and James get talking football, we don't know when to shut up. Do we? Look, for me, Vicario, right? I'm a big fan of Vicario. I get what you're saying, James. I do understand where you're coming from. I understand with the flipping and flopping, but do you think we made a cock up by not going over Kevlar of Liverpool, the Irish goalkeeper that signed for Brentford, instead of going for Kinksky? Because I think we should have gone for Kelleher instead of going for Kinksky. I said it at the time. I did say at the time that we should have gone for Kelleher. Now,
what did Kelleher go for? What was his transfer cost?
I think it was 16 million, but it rises to 18 million when all the add-ons come on.
And Kinski was 11, wasn't it?
Yeah.
12. 11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, yeah, go on.
I'm just thinking financial.
You could get rid of Vicario. Isn't the talk of Martinez going now from Villa?
Yeah.
Go and get Martinez.
I've always said I love Martin. Yeah, yeah. Is it
Martinez? Martinez.
I'd love him at Tottenham. I think he's a character, but Vicario for me, Philip Brady said it to me. He's a newer version of Pat Jennings. For me, in a way, I think there's a lot of similarities between Vicario and Pat Jennings. I think he's had an injury hit season, and I do think next season Vicario will be better. And to be honest, with people saying in the chat, I think there's a lot more problems. I think you look at our centre back problems. I think you look at our fullbacks. I mean, does Porro? I play him as a right winger than I would as a right back. I think he's more suited to playing the wing than he is either as a right wing back or a right winger instead of a right back. And I think you play Jed Spence there, you play your doggy, QT Romero, Van der Ven, and Jed Spence, Vicario. You play Porro, because his crossing, that cross for the goal against Man City when James Maddison scored.
Yeah.
I think you play Porro on that wing position, and I think you've got a ready-made winger there. I've always said that.
You lose Johnson.
We know, because you put Johnson in the number 10 role. That's where you
and
put
then
Johnson.
where's Decky playing?
Well, you put Decky on the other wing.
What, out left?
Yeah, I think Decky can play left.
And then
where's Mikey Moore going? Yeah.
Well, Mikey Moore's a young player. He's still learning his craft. But I still think you want two number 10s. I think you get rid of Madison. You put Brennan Johnson and Kulu in as the 2 10s. You put whoever on the left. You put Porro on the right. I think Brennan Johnson can do a job as a number 10. If you beef him up a little bit, give him a little bit more weight, I think he's quite capable of being that number 10, or even being the striker, because he knows where to go. He's a six box yard man. Yeah. A lot of people laugh at me when I say this, but who was there and thereabouts all last season? Brennan Johnson. It's a knack in itself, being in that box, being that 6-yard goal scorer, being in the right place at the right time. It's a talent in itself. all
But
great
again,
strikers have had it.
But again, Dermot, I think the problem with all this is we've got to wait and see who's the manager, because you know, we look at this and what's to say we don't go to a back three if Frank comes in or Glasner or some, you know, we don't know what system we're going to be playing. We don't know what personnel are going to be here. We don't know what the manager's going to want. And, you know, he might come in and Porro might be gone. Johnson might be gone. Tell might not come in. You know, it's such a minefield. This is kind of almost that show that you want in a month's time, because in theory it should all be settled. We should know who the manager is. We've got an idea of the system we're going to play, and we talk about Vicario, we talk about Kuti, we talk about we haven't talked about Van der Ven and Porro and Spence. They all suit the system that Ange plays, but the system really shows them up to be bad players sometimes. And without having the right system, these players that they can look bad. I mean, it's like same with Bissouma. He's looked terrible under Ange, but you go back to the first 10 games of Ange's tenure at Spurs, Bissouma and Maddison were the best two players on the field. You know, so until we know who the manager is, I think it's pretty hard to say which one of these players should stay or go. Has he gone?
No, I agree. I agree. Look, I think that's a good discussion for another show, actually, to be fair. I think we've stumbled on something there. I really do. Very quickly, players here, Brendan Johnson, Odegaard, and Mickey van der Ven, the contract to 2029. So is Brendan Austin, Jamie Donnelly, Alfie Darrington, Will Lancashire, and Callum Ulisse. Look, Johnson and Odegaard, they're staying. That's no problem. Loan out for me, Brendan Austin, John and Lee, Alfie Darrington, Lancashire, and Lalosi. Guys, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to keep Jamie Donnelly in about the club.
My big controversial one will be, again, depending which manager comes in, Mickey van der Ven, because the system suits him really well under Ange. He is a phenomenal player at running back, making that tackle, but you put him defending on edge of his box and he's all over the place. He's not the Kuti type player. He's, you know, and look, I'm not taking anything away from Van der Ven, because look, he basically won us the cup as well with that clearance, and he's been absolutely fantastic in every game he's played. But you bring him back 10, 15 yards and he's not the same player. I'm not saying get rid of him. Please don't think I'm saying that, but he's not the same style of defender when he is defending further back as what he is having to run back. And it's his pace that makes him the footballer he is. And without his pace, he's no good in the air. You know, for such a tall lad, he's weak in the air. And you know, like I say, you bring he probably suit a back three, because you know that gives him that space a little bit more. But I think there's a couple of players in there that probably need a loan. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some of those actually. I mean, Brandon Austin, when he's played, I think he's done bloody well, don't you?
Yeah. Did he play twice this year, James?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Once in the Europa League and once in the league.
And he didn't put a foot wrong, did he?
No, he
I
didn't.
think he's one of those players that it's almost a shame he didn't kick up more of a fuss, because he should have been given his chance. Because when, you know, the 2 games he has played, he hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, James, for you, do you agree with that? Who would you...
I'm going to upset you now because I'd sell Johnson, I'd sell Odegaard, I'd keep Van de Ven, I'd keep Austin, I'd keep Donnelly, I'd probably turf out Alfie Dorrington, Will Lancashire out on loan, and I'd probably loan out Alessi as well. But that's me. I'm not. I was never a big fan of Odegaard when we actually signed him, and I was certainly not a big fan of Johnson when we signed him either. I think it was an absolutely look. I'm not going to take anything away from the kid. He's had a good season this season,
and last season
mm,
he finished the season top goal scorer and top assists as well. The previous season as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's basically been our top goal scorer for 2 years on spin.
I know he had the most assists last season. Then any one in the team.
I'm
double checking that now.
I'm going to check that one now because that doesn't seem right to me.
I think Johnson. There are parts of his game that he needs to improve, but
what you mean, like playing?
I mean, how many times have we said, depending, under different managers and blah blah blah, that if you're scoring goals, it doesn't matter whether you don't do anything else in the game as long as you score the goals. Well, yes, he's a winger, so he should be doing more, but we don't know what Angie's telling him to do. Now, I mean, I said at the beginning of the season, we were on the Irish lads, me, Dermo, and them, and people were saying who's going to be the top scorer. Most people picked Solanke, and I said Brennan Johnson. And I can't remember if you did or not, Dermo, because I know you.
I did as well. I did, yeah.
I know you backed him all season, and
yeah.
Look, the lad's come through now. I've been his critic in saying he doesn't defend enough, but then in the last few games, he's started to look as though he's defending a bit more. So to me, I think he's earned his place for another season. Yeah, I mean, look, we go on. I think somebody's mentioned in the chat, he cost £40-odd million. Well, that's not his fault.
No,
that's the clubs that agree that bring that money in. It's like Archie Gray costing 40 million. It's not his fault. That's the price that we've got to pay for him. And to be, you look at it, and I know there are some bargains out there, but you don't get a lot for the money these days. So,
no, you don't.
But, 40 million is not a world-class player anymore. It's as simple as, unless they're in the last year or, it's a foreign type club. But you buy a player in England, 40 million doesn't buy you the best players in the world. So,
no, it doesn't.
To me, we shouldn't be looking at how much it's cost us. We should only be looking at what he's done on the field. And look, he's been top scorer. He's scored the only goal in the European Cup final, and he's won us a trophy. So get over it. The lad's staying. Simple as.
Yeah.
So
go on. I know you found it.
So,
the new Premier League websites are bloody dismal, by the way.
Yeah, it is. So for the 23-24 season, our top goal scorer was Sonny. Then it was Richarlison. Then it was Kulusevski. And Brennan Johnson was joint fourth with Romero with 5 goals.
3 assists.
Yeah. He had 10 assists.
Yeah, I was going to say
it was joint top. It was joint top assister with Sonny with 10 assists. So yeah, and then this season, what he actually finished with was 11 goals and 3 assists. So 14 goal. 40. He's actually had a worse season on goal contributions this year than what he did last year.
But he still ended up, I think, in all competitions with 18 goals this year. I think in all competitions, including Europe as well. I think it's 17 or 18 goals he scored this season in all competitions.
I've got no, but he could have probably had more in the last season as well, Dermo. I'm not thinking, but
Look,
he for all the credit that he gets given and all he's phenomenal, blah 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 blah. In Premier League terms, he had a worst goal involvement season this year from what he did last year.
Yeah,
that's my point.
No, I get it. I'm very conscious, Soren. I know it's 9:30. You have to go. This is going to go on a little bit. So thank you for coming on. Where can people find you very quickly, sir?
Just on the odd stream. So probably be on with you a little bit next year and on with the Irish lads, and just popping onto any stream that decides to invite me that can put up with me. So anybody that wants to listen to my drivel.
Okay. Well, Soren, thank you very much for coming on. I hope your tooth feels better. And me and James are going to continue arguing about Brendan Johnson now for the next 5 minutes. Till I'm proven right and he admits I'm right. And then he says, thank you, Dermot. You're right all along. I'm now Johnson.
Never happening. Never happening.
No. All right. And thanks, lads. And just remember, we are Europa champions.
Yeah, we are. Stop. That we are. Soren, big up. And I'll speak to you later.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
See you later, man. Take care. There's Soren. Yeah, no, Johnson is a better player. I'm telling you now. But that's for another debate. That's for another debate. We will have a debate on that, James. You and me will get Colin or somebody to referee it, and you and me will have a proper debate on Brendan Johnson. I just want to go through chat. David Clark says Sean, but he didn't. It was Luke Shaw. It wasn't an own goal. Johnson scored that goal. Anyone stop saying it was an own goal. He scored it. Dermot Shawnee says, Dermot, I'm with you on Johnson. Big up Shawnee. We are Spurs TV says Johnson would track back if Roy Keane was in the squad. He certainly would. Son is a legend, but soft captain. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, these 2030 players, and then of course 31, Kinski and Bergville. Look, we know they're going to stay. I think that's for another show about the kids, but they've been exceptional this season. So for me, I think both of them been exceptional. Would you say very quickly on Bergville?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kinski was absolutely trial by fire and walked out cool as a cucumber. Really thinking Lucas Bergvall has been an absolute breath of fresh air, and we should be keeping hold of these players like for dear life.
Yeah, we should be.
Those two players should be the players that we look at and go, right, okay, we've got these two youngsters.
That's who we build a team around.
That's who we build our team around.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that 100%. Now, we've got a few players here. We've got Dom Solanke, Archie Gray, Papa Sarr, Danso, who has now signed for the club permanently, which I think is a good signing, by the way. I think you and me would agree that as well. Yeah. And also Radu Dragosin, who is coming back from injury. Also coming in this year is Luka Vuskovic as well.
Vuskovic.
Don't start. I'll let you have the...
Luka Vuskovic.
No, I've got a speech impediment. I'll let you do the difficult words. And then we've got Yang, Min, Yuck.
Hyuk.
Or whatever. Yang. I'm just going to call him Yang. Is coming back to the club. Look, for me and Tequila did the show when we bought Dom Solanke, and we both said at the time we felt very underwhelmed by the signing. He's not your goal scorer to go out and get you 20, 25 goals a season. That's never going to happen.
No, it's not.
We do need the goal scorer, but then you got Richie. So who do you go out and get very quickly? Just before we get into Solanke, I think Archie Gray you keep. He's had a great season. Papa Sarr's had a great season. Danso, I think, when he's come in, hasn't let us down. And Rudu as well has not let us down, apart from getting sent off in one Europa League game. But apart from that, hasn't let us down, got injured. So the main person I really want to talk about, so take this off and you and me back on together, is Dom Solanke. Now, I felt very underwhelmed by the signing, still do in the way. He's done all right, as Tequila says here. He did okay, Dermot. Still not worth the money we paid for him, exactly. I expect more than 9 league goals, but he worked hard, so he's okay. Yeah, his work ethic is great. But do we need a better striker? So the last sort
100%.
of segment of this show, where do we go? Who do we buy before we end off?
Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic. That's who we buy. If I'm gonna put my eggs out there and my hopes and dreams into a striker, Dusan Vlahovic is who we sign.
Yeah,
I think he's strong, he's powerful, he's quick. I think he would absolutely dominate the Premier League. And I think if we don't go all out to try and get him, and again, it does depend on who our manager's going to be. But if we don't do something and try and get him for how cheap he is going to be, then we really, really don't deserve to be a top quality team, because that's who we should be looking at.
I agree. I totally agree. James, look, we're going to leave it there, man. It's been an interesting show, one way and another. Big up to Soren for coming on. Sorry for the person in the chat, if he's upset anyone, but he has been banned now, never to be seen again.
Yeah, and I apologise for losing my cool a little bit, everybody. I don't normally like to anybody to see that side of me. No, it's not grand. It's not professional. I should be able to compartmentalise a little bit more, but I take things a little bit too personally sometimes.
Believe me, I'm worth for that myself, James. So
when my integrity is questioned, and the integrity of our channel is questioned, and the integrity of our sources are questioned, then I'm going to defend that to the hilt. This is like my family, and I would defend my family to the death, and I'm not going to stand for that kind of shit.
No,
and that's me swearing.
No, I agree. But no, listen, you don't need to apologize about anything, man. Right. Over to you for the next week.
Yeah. So it's going to be me next week, guys.
So hang on. I'm going to put you over here. You're now in the hot seat. I'm going to sit back and just enjoy this. Now, you get to tell people when we're on, who you're on with, what you're going to do. It's all down to you now. So I'm sitting back here like a watcher now. So go on, fill your shoes.
All right, then. I'll fill your boots. I'll fill your boots. So I don't believe we're going to have a show tomorrow. Unless anything breaks, and I am working, so hopefully I won't be trapped inside work again, and doing stupidly long, ridiculous shifts. But on Friday, I will be joined by our very own stateside soccer host, Big Steve. He's going to be joining me on Friday. Also on Saturday, me and Steve should be doing a show and just sort of doing a roundup of any news over the last few days. Also, we'll be doing Newsbeat, like catching up on the daily news that's going to be there. I might try and persuade Dermo to come on a telephone call while I'm doing a stream, so we can have Dermo's input of any of the breaking news that's happened.
Not hell's chance. You got more chance than that. If I did that right, I swear to God, you won't see me again.
I'm just saying it'd be a phone call. It wouldn't be you're doing a live stream. It'd be a quick 5-minute phone call.
Look, funnier things have happened, but you guarantee it, right? You guarantee it. If new breaks, so I'm in the airplane flying from Dublin to Leeds, right? And you guarantee that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked, and something's happened. There may be a little video being dropped. Somewhere along the line.
It's only an hour's flight, Dermo. You're not going to miss much in an hour.
You guarantee it over the middle of the Irish Sea. You guarantee it. It would just all hell broke loose, like all hell loose were broke loose.
Sean Maddox says, do a 30-second clip and send them in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, I'm leaving the channel to you guys. So look after.
You know, look, I'm not going to say you're not going to have a channel when you come back. You will have a channel. You just might not have any followers, subscribers, or viewers.
Oh, jeez, you're not filling me with much confidence. What the hell are you gonna do?
No. I will take care of you, baby. Believe.
Yeah.
I will take care of you, baby. And I'm pretty sure that, all joking aside, we'll be fine. You enjoy your holiday.
Have fun. No, I'm not. I actually live in Ireland. I'm flying to Sheffield. My Mrs. Tron's got family in Sheffield and Milton Keynes, so we're flying over to Sheffield on Friday. We're flying to Leeds Bradford, then going to Sheffield Friday for I think 4 days, and then we're going to Milton Keynes then for 3. So but yeah, that's where I'm going. But yeah, please join James and Steve. I think Colin may do a bit of a jump on as well. There's any breaking news for the lads. I'm sure Tequila will do his little bit as well. He's going to be in the chat as well, monitoring the chat, and you're going to be well looked after by the people, by Wayne Bonner and all that. They'll all look after you. But James, I've got full confidence. I know you can do it, man. I know you're hosting. You can do it. I've got all my faith in you. Wayne Bonner, just F off. Seriously, just go. just go. Just please. Sorry, Wayne. I hate Stephen Kenny. I hate Stephen Kenny. I hate Stephen Kenny with a passion. I really do. But on that bombshell, thank you.
We will bid you all a good night.
Yeah, just another quick thank you again. We ticked over to 400,000 views. For myself, Steve, for myself, James, Colin, Tequila, Steve as well, and Philip Brady, who was on the channel before. A massive thank you for everyone that's got us over that market. We're only sort of under 100,000 away. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Before I completely get shot. Yeah. You won't do this next week. I know you won't. You'll be more shit hot on this than me. We need a word from our channel sponsor. Some say he starred in many great films, but some also say he rarely is Jeremy Clarkson in disguise. All we know is Cillian O'Connor. I tell it, they're both from Doncaster. That's why I said it. You get it? Doncaster, Jeremy Clarkson?
Yeah, but Jeremy Clarkson's from Rotherham.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. Don't ever say that to Colin when he's Doncaster from Rotherham. He'll kill you. You'll never make your plane back.
Oh, well, on that bombshell, this is the last time ever I'll be pressing this button. Here's Cillian. Here's Colin. Oh, shit.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there, but I'm going to stop messing.
Don't talk to me. Just do the channel sponsor, please, without.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there, but I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about private internet access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as private internet access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use. Private internet access, all you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone, if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well. As you can see, and you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem. And it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private internet access. Get yours now.
Yes, and it is, guys, only 40. I think it's 85% off at the moment. €85. No, €85. Sorry.
45 euro.
Thank you. For 2 years plus 4 months free. I'm really ballsing the end of this up.
You really
So yeah,
are.
do hit the description below. But go on. You're the host now for now, so you take us out, sir.
Okay, so Dermo, obviously, I want to say thank you very much for tonight. I really do hope you have a nice holiday, mate, and hopefully I'll get a chance to meet up with you myself. Where can people find you?
Here on Discord. Look, I'm on here. You know where I am. I'm the host of THFC 2 Would Die. You can also follow me on X as well at James Models 10. You can follow us on TikTok as well. All our socials are down below the description below. But I couldn't do this channel without the likes of Colin, Steve, and Tequila. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you. And it's you guys that make me do this. Not just me. You guys give me the confidence to do these shows. So thank you. But go on, you finish it off, James. Go on.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
So you're welcome. It's been a pleasure having you, Dermo. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, have me on again, please.
Yeah, well, I'll see about getting you on in about a week's time or so.
Okay, yeah, that's grand. I think I'm due. I don't think I'm washing my hair that night. No, I'll be free.
Good. No, it's you're going to be missed probably while you're on your holiday, but no one deserves it more. You work hard for everybody, and you have always put everything from moment you're awake to probably the moment you go to bed. You're always looking after the show, putting your heart into it, and you're going to be missed for this week or so while you're away. But I will do my best to steer the THFC Till I Die ship on course and keep it ticking over for you. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on X or THFC James. Please jump along, pop on there, send me messages. I'm always available and will answer any messages or questions that you've got. As long as I can, I will. So it's been a great show. Dermo, thank you very much. And we will see you when you are back from the big land.
Yeah, I'm back on the 16th. So I see you then, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
And on that bombshell.
And the big cockerel we trust. Not the other thing. Cockerel. We trust.
Yeah,
might have a new manager when we get back.
Yeah, you might do. We might do. Yeah. But I will say, you did say we sat underneath a big cock at the start of the show. And on that bombshell, we'll end it right there.
Oh, hell's bells.
From rain to fall.